Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all could be with us. Also, joining us are our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. Well, even here in the South, we've been dealing with some pretty cold weather, especially for us. And that's true really across the country. You know, it's sometimes difficult for all of us, but especially for those who are dealing with situations like plaque psoriasis, it can definitely be a difficult time of year. Well, I'm so excited about our next two guests who are going to share some great information with you guys, especially for those who are dealing with plaque psoriasis. We're excited to welcome Hollywood makeup artist Allan Avendano, as well as we have with us today Dr. Jennifer Soung. They're going to talk to us not only about some things you guys can think about when it comes to your skincare, but also where you can get some more information as well. Thanks to the two of you for the time. I really appreciate this.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, the pleasure is definitely all mine. I know one of the things we're going to talk about is the Inside Look campaign. But, Dr. Soung, I want to actually begin with you because for our audience out there who may not know, what are some of the signs and symptoms of plaque psoriasis?
Absolutely. Plaque psoriasis is an autoimmune disease of the skin where patches like raised, red, itchy, and flaky patches appear on the surface of the skin. So what many people don't know is that the inflammation actually starts from the inside of the body due to an abnormally functioning immune system.
Wow. That is good information for our audience. And I want to bring you into the conversation. Allan, I introduced you as a Hollywood makeup artist, but I should also say that you're someone who also is dealing with plaque psoriasis. So what has that experience been like for you to be in the public eye, but also to be dealing with plaque psoriasis?
Well, I have lived with psoriasis, plaque psoriasis most of my life, and it was a rough start. Elementary school, junior high school, it was pretty brutal. But as I got older and I got to high school, I really did think that there's so much more to me than plaque psoriasis. And so I really just decided to remain positive and really let people see who I am. And so these days, it's been great living, my life and my authentic self and not letting this affect me. And honestly, that's why I teamed up with Otezla and Anjin on the Inside Look campaign, because I wanted to be able to share my story with people and also inspire other people to keep going even if things get in your way.
And I love the fact that you're doing that, Allan. And as we said, that with the Inside Look campaign, being able to shine a much-needed spotlight on this. Dr. Soung, I want to ask you, what are some ways for our audience out there that they can manage plaque psoriasis, especially with the colder weather that all of us are experiencing right now?
Great question. I love talking about treating psoriasis because there's so many different options. But in terms of first addressing the first part of your question with the cold weather, any type of extreme weather can irritate or make psoriasis worse. So really important to moisturize the skin, so to minimize any irritation. Moisturizing alone can help the skin heal. And then I think it's really important, like I mentioned before, is that patients don't realize that the inflammation actually goes beyond the surface of the skin and starts from the inside. So one treatment option that treats psoriasis differently is Otezla or apremilast. And it's different because it's not an injection, a biologic, or cream. It's a pill that really targets the inflammation on the inside of the body.
And again, that can offer some relief for our audience out there. And to kind of go with this whole theme of dealing with this colder weather, Allan, I want to ask you, because of your expertise, what are some makeup and skincare tips for our audience out there, for those especially living with plaque psoriasis, that they can be able to use during these cold months?
Yes. Well, I do want to say that if the audience will go to InsideLookPSO.com, they'll actually be able to see some of the tips that I give a woman named Sarah who is dealing with plaque psoriasis as well, and that's where we get to share our stories. But I do share a lot of tips there. But for right now with the audience, I'd really like to say that skin prep is really, really important, especially if you are having plaques on your face, because you want to make sure that you want to smooth those out and soothe them and comfort them. And so when you're using products, make sure that they aren't full of chemicals and that they're gentle. If you are going to exfoliate, do it gently with your fingers. Don't use a scrubbing brush or anything crazy, because I think Dr. Soung will agree with this, that it can cause new plaques to come out. And so that's the one thing. And also when you're using a sponge or a brush, to make sure that you're tapping it in and not rubbing it all over your face, just to not cause any further irritation. And again, just using products that are gentle on the skin, or, and also the one thing is, you don't want to hide plaque psoriasis, because that's like hiding who you are. You want to just emphasize instead all the parts that you love about your face. If you love your lips, then do a bold lip color or things like that. Don't focus so much on the plaques, but rather just focus on what makes you feel your best and emphasize that part of your face. I think that's a really important thing that people should live by.
Love that. And again, that website was InsideLookPSO.com. We'll make sure, Allan, that we link that up for our podcast audience, but for our radio audience, we'll put that in the Facebook group as well. Dr. Soung, I want to wrap up with you. I mean, as we're talking about treatment options that are available for those with plaque psoriasis, where's some places people can go for more information?
My favorite place, of course, we mentioned InsideLookPSO.com as part of this campaign, but another great website is the National Psoriasis Foundation, which is the largest nonprofit organization for patients. It's www.psoriasis.org.